Hello, punters, and welcome back to another episode of NRL Unpopular Opinions, a very special State of Origin Game 2 preview show. My main man, Oscar Panafex, is joining me like he does every week. G'day, Oscar.
I got that dog in me.
You are a dog.
I got that dog. No, I don't, but Jerome Luai does.
Oh,
Fucking quote of the year, wasn't it?
Put that dog down.
Let's go. It's disgusting.
I need a spin bucket over here, eh?
That audible sigh you heard is Jharal Yao Yi.
Yeah, hey guys, we're back. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like Perth for a few reasons. I broke my leg there. We don't have very much success there for in Origin, so a little bit nervous. Yeah,
I can tell.
yeah, that's how I
You're
feel.
a bit flat today.
Yeah, flat white.
Flat white.
That's a coffee, by the way. Everyone,
There's a couple flat
that's not
whites sitting at this
racism.
table.
And
That's
Liam,
my word. I can say that.
What am I, long play?
Yeah.
Yes.
and Liam Foggy joins us.
Hello, boys. We need to keep this tight today. I've got a flight to catch. Going
Right, well, that's it.
Going
We'll
over
wrap it up
Perth.
here then.
Thank you very much, listeners. It's been real. Yeah. Very
Wow.
excited.
Yeah.
Going over.
Munster MVP, Munster first try scorer, Queensland 30 plus. See you later.
Clip it up, Rich.
That'll do me. That's the show, everyone.
After we spoke last week, boys, Billy dropped a bit of a bombshell, which always happens to us because as soon as we stop recording, something big happens.
Yeah.
So let's quickly dive into those late selection calls. Hammer on the wing, Nanai on the bench, for more dropped. What do we make of all this, Jharal?
Yeah, mind games from the Queenslanders. We don't usually do this. It's weird. We're not this type of state to do this. The other ones down south do. They like to play mind games usually, but yeah, it's a little bit of unrest with Bill. I don't know. Like, does he feel like it's obviously there's pressure as a coach always, but it's still been pretty flat this build up.
It's been a quiet camp,
Like
hasn't it?
the fight between Corey Parker and Aaron Woods has been the biggest thing. That's been the biggest thing that
Can
we've
we
had.
talk about that?
Oh man, he went. You know what?
Who won that?
Bird. the Bird. Cos. I think Cos did.
You reckon Cos won?
I reckon he has. He's just called him a loser. He's 33% win record. He's come at him hard.
Yeah, but that like.
What if it's?
I'm not
personal?
saying Sharon Woods won either, but I just like the two examples of media chat this week has been that and the Gordon Tallis one on 360.
Which one's the Gordon Tallis one? I
And
don't.
both times, like Aaron Woods calls out Billy Slater for some stuff, and Corey Parker's response is Woodsy lost heaps of Origin games. Like, of course he fucking did. Queensland won 8 straight during that.
To be fair,
But that's what he's got.
And his
that's what
other
I'm
argument
saying.
was, well, hang on. Woodsy's having a crack because we dropped Ches. Didn't New South Wales drop their captain for game 1 last year? Well, no, we actually chose Edwards, and then he got injured, so Tedesco had to come in.
But you don't have.
Well, we can't even have an argument because your arguments are shit.
Well, the arguments because they're true.
Well, it's true that Woodsy lost a lot of Origin games, but what does that have to do about this
I just think that
current
what happened
series?
was, what I'm saying is, I think Woodsy's gone at Bill. Bill doesn't have he can't rebuttal.
He can't go back.
So Cos
Bill sent Cos in?
Well, not send him. I don't look.
The enforcer.
I love Cozza, but I wouldn't send Cozza into a lot of fights. Let's just put it that way. We just leave him out there, Bird. But he's got the right. Bird's got the right because he was in those teams. He's won a lot. So Cozza's, yeah. I like it though. I mean, it's been shit though because we haven't had a lot of like in-house
drama.
Well, there's
Yeah.
not in-house stuff, man. Like
Is that like planned by Queensland though? Like they're trying to
it's
keep it low key?
definitely not planned. I think they're focused on they've got to win a game.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, rarely do we see. I don't know. When was the last time players have come out and said anything? I feel like these young Blues players have the confidence and have the confidence to come and say something because they're playing great footy.
They are, yeah.
Like these guys that are playing in this side right now are in form. Like we can't, without being rude to some of our with the boys from the Titans, they're not in great. They're not in amazing form, but they put a jersey on and they do a job.
Titans had a win on.
Oh,
the
they
weekend,
did.
though, if you don't
But
mind.
those boys weren't in the team.
Look, all I care about are the Broncos. Right? That's all I care about. But I'm saying that these boys that are playing in a blue jersey right now have the right to, because pretty much all of their clubs that they're coming from are in form. So they've got a leg to stand on. And I don't have a problem with in-house bickering and stuff between the teams, but there's been nothing. There really hasn't been too much, have there?
Doesn't feel like Origin, does it?
No, and I feel like
Didn't this happen last year as well, though?
Yeah, it did.
I feel like it's just a sign of the
new
times.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the players get
And
told, look,
true.
you say something too smart everyone's going to be looking at it on Instagram for the next 4
And I do
days.
apologise to the New South Wales people, but it was always Gal, really. It was just really always Gal, wasn't it? It was never anyone else.
Alvy
It just
dog.
wasn't. He's come out. He said we've got 2 heads. He's and he's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. He's got Sonny Bill to worry about. So I don't think he's too worried about. He obviously wants them to win, but it hasn't been as
Yeah.
you.
So
like,
what's
that's
the
what
Gordon
hasn't been.
Tallis thing? Is this the
Yeah,
Spencer
what-
Lenu?
Yeah, he was having a crack
last week,
with the Spencer. With the
I did like that though.
I like it, but it was also like...
I also like Woodsy. Like I'm not against what Woodsy said.
No.
Yeah.
They've got to try and find fire with.
Well, you got to find
somewhere.
fire, but like Gordy just says stuff, and then they rebut. Like he said that if Spencer wants to carry on like a tough guy, then he needs to start and play 80 minutes like everybody else. No one else plays 80 minutes in the middle, Gordy.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, so are you suggesting that if he plays off the bench, then he's not tough?" And he's like, "No, I didn't say that." It's like, well, you literally just said that. It's hard for some good chat to be happening when there's there's no response to that.
You could see
Gordy's
when he
just saying-
said that, he realised straight away. He's
fucking
squirming.
buffered for a bit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, dig up. This is my hill and I'm dying on
Dig
it.
up.
And I like that though.
it's
You know what I mean? You just got to die on your hill, even if you're wrong. Just go with it. I think.
Need to get Gal back on Channel 9, maybe. Is that the solution?
Well, like I said, he's got other stuff to worry about. He's got to fight Sonny Bill
Who else
Williams.
would say some... What's Choc Watmo doing? Jockey?
Nah, leave him off the TV. I love him. I love you, Chucky, but keep him off.
Paul Kent's got his own podcast now. He'll say something, surely.
Like, the last thing I can remember was that Bradman Best got asked, like it was the most cringe. It was like, "Do you hate Queenslanders?" last year, and he's like,
Yes.
"Yes, I hate them." I was like, "All right, cool, good chat, Brad."
Are we in an era right now where both sides, players wise, respect each other? That's sort of
Maybe.
I think we are.
That's where we are.
That's right.
Not on the field, because you can see the animosity when it comes on the field. When there's a fight, when there's something, everyone's in. Or that's what I just think that's where we're at the moment. I think both sides respect each other and they have to. And if you come out and do say something, you've got to back it up.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you don't back it up, then you're probably not on the side for long.
Maybe that's it's a product of it being, New South Wales won last year, but Queensland won 2 before that. This series is still up for decide. Like maybe because there's not one super dominant state, you're not hearing a bunch of arrogant chat coming from one
Yeah.
side. Of
No one wants to go the early crow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Maybe
what it
that's
feels
what
like.
it is.
Do you reckon if, say, New South Wales, hypothetically, they win on Wednesday, do you see...
Chat starts coming.
Because I like the chat when nothing's won. I think you need to throw... If you're going to throw chat, you've got to throw chat when nothing's won. So, anyway.
Well, that's why I like that Luai quote from this week. I got that dog.
Well,
in me.
he'll throw it.
Yeah.
He's always going to... You know what? Out of everyone on that side, he's going to be the mouthy one, which is fine. And you know
that's what
what?
he's in the team to
but
do.
put it this way. He backs it up. I will say that. He talks shit, but he does back it up.
Yep.
So I don't have a problem with that. I've got problems with people who talk shit and then can't back it up and then go into their shell. He won't on Wednesday, and I've got to respect that as a former player. Like as much as I don't like him playing in the jersey that he is, he does back it up. So we'll see if he's got it. He's going up against the captain, for Queensland on the weekend, and I can tell you he's got that dog in him as well.
Yeah. What do you feel about Hammer on the wing?
Love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. I feel like we're going to get more carries out of him, and when the game's a little bit broken and there's not going to be many opportunities, but someone who's got his pace and someone he can evade, he can change a game, I believe, in that position if there's broken play. But there has to be. So you've got to have those opportunities. So I look, Val's always done a job in that centre role for us as well. So look, we'll see. We're going to see on the night, but it's a big task for Val. It's a big task.
Yep.
And he's just got to be up for it. So yeah. I do like Hammer on the wing though.
Okay.
Have you sent him some unsolicited advice as a former Origin winger?
No, definitely. He's got more than me. So I'll just shut my mouth.
That's probably been the one change that hasn't really got a lot of attention. But
No.
No.
I
Well,
think
you know
it's
why it
a
hasn't got
smart
a lot
one.
of attention? Because Val plays week in and week out in the centre role, and Hammond's done a job on the wing for us in Origin. So
Has Hammer played on the Sting for Queensland before?
yeah, I think he started. I think he started there.
Maybe one game.
Yeah.
I think the Carrigan news has kind of overshadowed
There's
it.
bigger calls
A fair
around
bit.
it. But
Yep.
yeah, I think like Hammer's play 1 carries on kick returns are better than his play 2 carries against a set defensive line. Whereas Val, he's been doing that shit for 10 years. Like he'll cop his licks, take a really ugly play 2 or 3 carry and still get a quick play the ball, whereas Hammer was getting a bit dominated there. Plus you get an extra couple of inches of height to defend Zach Lomax on kick. So I thought it was a smart move.
Very, very similar 14s for both sides, I think, in this game. I think Connor Watson and Kurtman are both very good carriers of the ball. They jump out a lot, and it's going to be interesting to see when they're both on.
They both play the same role for their respective states. You think Kurt comes on at 9 for Harry? Or does he play running 13?
I think he's going to have to. I mean, we haven't had a lot of luck when Harry's played really massive minutes for Queensland, so I think we're going to need to give Harry a breather at some stage. And look, I think that's the other reason why probably Bill hasn't given him the captaincy to take a bit of pressure off him, because, you know, as much as we don't like to say it, we haven't won a game with
Harry at
9.
Yeah.
So
starting at 9.
Yeah, starting at 9.
Yeah.
Starting at 9. So like, it takes a little bit of pressure on. He's got that role at club level, but yeah, I think he's going to take a little bit of pressure off him. Doesn't have to worry about that part of leading. Speak with actions. So it's going to be interesting because, man, Hudson Young's been playing out of his skin. You know, coming off the best of New South Wales. I mean, geez, he's going to bring some energy. So we're going to have to be up for that.
Fogs and I were in the office when the teams dropped, and Fogs basically lost his mind when he saw Carrigan and Nanai on the bench.
Just a little tantrum.
Yeah. Have you calmed down a little bit?
Yeah, I've made peace with it. I'm hoping Bill's just playing some mind games, and he has had a few hot ones, and it's changing things up. I thought
been round to Freddie's house.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping we might see a couple of late changes. But
what do you think? What do you think?
Mind games
hope?
you suggest?
It's happened before. Nanai for me was almost our best player.
Yeah.
Well, but was he not our best because he was gassed? You know, like he didn't have that punch. So you got to think from Bill, if he is damaging and he's defending well when he's rooted, what is he going to be like when he's a little bit fresh, come off the bench? So
and see, that's why I'm not the coach of Queensland. You know, I'm not thinking the way that Bill's thinking. So I've made peace with it.
Well, I'm looking at Young, and I think that he's going to bring that off the bench for them. He's going to be when he's fresh. He's going to be. Because when he's broken and he's on the field, he's doing a great job. So what is he going to be like when he's fresh?
So how's he going to use Pat then? That's what
I reckon Paddy's probably going to play in the middle. I just don't know. Like what is he going? He's not going to give Paddy 10 minutes each side of the half and then lock. I think he's probably going to play him in the middle.
Which is what he's been doing almost all year.
Yeah,
for the Bronx. But his best games have been at 13, I thought. But
has Trent Liero been playing 80 and? I think that's where that's it.
Yep.
There's going to be he's put in a call out to Paddy and Lindsay Collins when they come on. They're going to have to be because we got bashed in the middle in the first game.
Yep.
So he's put 2 big boys to come on together to reinforce the middle at some stage. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Do you reckon he's had a conversation with Pat before and been like, I'm thinking about this. Is that something you're interested in? Or is he just
I don't think it's something you're interested in.
No, this is what you're doing.
Just told.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you get to this level, like I said last week, you don't own a jersey in this Queensland side. You don't own a jersey in that New South Wales side. Wherever you get put, you just do a job for your state. And that's just the honest truth. And I believe that, as much as I don't like Paddy coming off the bench, maybe it might be not only just a reality check for Pat, but he will bring big energy when he comes off the bench, and he might have that extra punch to be able to, in attack-wise, because that's where I think we're going to be. We need something. We need points. We need points, man. Because that's where, and I feel like with Pat and Lindsay Collins coming on and bringing a little bit of energy and a bit of punch in the middle, that might be the key for us. But he could still play, a lock. So, it's an unknown right now.
Anything could happen, injury or, whatever.
If we got to guess based on what's on paper, I think and this is what a lot of the chat's been around this week, Loiero and Capewell do their best work in big minute stints, right?
Correct, yeah.
Loiero, copping so much hate, the poor dude. If this was in the middle of your 8 straight and Loiero comes in, he is Queensland's favourite fucking son because he's a toiler and he works hard.
It's
and
happened before.
And he's underrated. It's so funny. Like, he's a dude who can play big minutes. He's mobile. He's got he's a big body. He's got an offload in him. I think he being put in a starting role and Cape's coming on as well, and then moving Nanai and Carrigan to the bench. I don't think it's a demotion for the latter two there. I just think it's the fact that, like, Carrigan's been your best player for the last couple of series.
It's not
right?
a demotion for anybody. You're playing for your state.
But you got it, like Loiero's going to make 20 tackles in the first 15 minutes instead of Carrigan doing that. Like, Carrigan only played 70 in the first game. Sorry, I shouldn't say only. That's a shitload of minutes. But do you want Carrigan playing the first 70 where he uses half his tank in the first 20 minutes of the game? Or do you want him coming on 20 minutes into the first half? He can start tipping around like in more of that lock roll, Fogs like you were talking about. Loiero can still tackle everything, whether he's playing 13 or prop. It doesn't really matter. And then maybe does Cotter come back into the middle when Nanai comes on? So then you got Capes and Nanai on either edge.
I reckon Liero starts to stink as well. Like, he's got that animal in him. I reckon he's a bit of a monkey.
I think that we're not going to complicate it. Honestly, this is what I exactly think is going to happen. I think all those players are going to play. I don't think people are going to move in other players. I think if Nanai comes off, that's going to be Cotter come off. I think if Lindsay Collins comes off, we're going to have a middle come off. I think if Paddy goes on, we'll have another middle come off. I don't think he's going to complicate it, and I think Kurt Mann's going to be a late inclusion when
to start.
Could be, but I just don't think he's going to complicate it. I honestly think he's going to keep it simple, and the rotation simple.
Where would Kurt start? Do you reckon?
At 9.
9, yeah.
And just tackle like Loiero will do for Carrigan, basically. Just get
ass.
those two dudes in there to use up a heap of gas to take the sting out of the game, and then hopefully you get a bit of a second wave when that bench comes on. Feels like that's how Billy's responded to game one, but which is like it's a good plan, but then I think for New South Wales it therefore opens up that opportunity to go, hey, let's cash in a couple of early tries and take it away from Queensland early. That's kind of where I'm looking at the differences.
I feel so much reassured now. Like, I should have talked to you boys last week. I feel so much better.
And we sat here before game one and we all sort of said it's going to come down to the last 10 minutes, and that's sort of when the game did open up.
It broke open.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have the gas. Like,
I feel like Queensland's got to go at it this one.
Yep.
They got to come out of the blocks hard and get points. I think they got to get. Doesn't mean they have to score 2 or 3 tries. I feel like they've got to get points before them. Yeah.
But there's jobs on the line if they don't. Like,
does this team list lend itself to that approach?
Oh yeah. Look, I thought
Carrigan and Nanai are your 2 best forwards, and you need to start fast. Is it good to have them on the bench?
Yeah, I think we've got boys to lay a platform for our outside backs to do their job.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think, when we had Paddy and Nanai on that, we were looking for them to beat people one-on-one because the blokes that are opposite them are great defenders. Yep. So I feel like we're going to try and lay a platform and beat them outside the back. Because we know Tom's going to run the first.
Yeah,
as soon as he gets the ball.
Let's talk about
He's going to run straight away.
Let's talk about Tom.
Like he'll run. He's a runner. He's a track star.
I'm very excited for Mr. Thomas Dearden to play halfback for Queensland. I'm nervous from a Blues perspective. I think that's where most of the ball's going to go for the Maroons' attack, is down that right edge, try and make a target of Latrell. The Blues have lost Mitch Moses on that side of the field, who he's like physically, he was really good defensively in game one, made a couple of crucial stops on Nanai, but what he also does is his speed allowed him to cover and get Coates a couple of times that you stripped New South Wales for numbers. Latrell didn't make not every decision he made in the centres was a smart one in game one. I think
it wasn't his best.
It wasn't his best
game.
No, it was his first game in the centres in a long time, right?
But they managed, But he can't. I don't think he can make those errors in this game.
Correct.
So he's got to be careful. Yeah.
And it looked like to me that's where Dearden's going to go. Like the thing I like the most about Dearden for Origin is Cherry Evans is like the kind of half. He's going to play a couple of tackles ahead of time. He's going to flip dudes around in the line, try and hit a certain spot or create a certain look in the line, whereas Dearden's just going to play shot for shot for shot. Like, it's easy to picture him tipping a forward into yardage, play 1, dropping another forward for play 2, dummy, show and go, play 3, another settler on play 4, and then on 5 he's running down a short side. Like, he can make positive impacts on the game with every little touch that he has.
Yeah.
And I think repeat questions of Latrell Mitchell and Jerome Luai on that side of the field is going to be key to the Queensland.
It's funny because
attack.
Ches and him are different players, right?
Super different.
They're super different players. So there's pros about having Ches there. There's pros about having Tom there. It's a hard one for me to talk about because he's my best mate, right? So, and I've watched Tom come through, and he's a star. He's a star. I just feel like Tom running the ball more is going to unlock more of Kalen Ponga too, because quick play the balls, KP does his best work on that stuff, and he'll be really hard to handle on that. And I don't think that Queensland really, like I said, the 50-50s didn't go our way the first game, not all of them anyway, and we're so used to that at Suncorp Stadium. Like I said, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying that. A couple of 50-50s go our way, we probably get better opportunities. I think we've got to earn our opportunities and not worry about the 50-50s. They've got to really earn on this game, and they've got to earn them early and fast. And, they've got to come out of the blocks. So we don't have a great record over there. We really need to stand up.
We'll get to the record in Perth in just a sec. Oscar, you did write a fair bit about Tommy in your article on the Ned's blog this week, but you also put some stuff in there about Kurt Mann on the bench and suggesting that Harry Grant might come off for a spell. Is that still where you're leaning?
I think Jharal just alluded to it there, but I think it was quite obvious that New South Wales wanted to put some work into Harry in game one, and it showed in that's the only time where Harry doesn't look like one of the best players in the game is when he's exhausted. It's hard to put work into him when he's sitting on the bench for 15 minutes. So, if that is what happens, I think it lends itself to that. A couple of those changes there where it seems like Queensland want to try and get a second and maybe a third wave off the bench.
Yep.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, you said in your article you're worried about Queensland's right edge, so we'll get to some try scorer picks in just a minute.
Yep.
The battle up forward, though, Payne Haas, Isaiah Yeo were monstrous in game one.
Yep.
Queensland on the back foot up forward for most of that game. Max King starting now for the Blues. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's the logical selection. I think.
Yep.
I think Big Steph's doing a good job. Maybe underwhelming. Some people might have assumed that he was going to be the next Taumalolo, moving from the Tigers to the Storm this year, but he's doing all that work that he was doing in much shorter stints. I think that lends itself to a bench role. And then you got Max and Payne who can play 50 minutes kind of thing. So, I like it. It's good.
All right. Perth. You just said before, Jharal, that Queensland doesn't have the best record on Perth. This is the third Origin game over there. New South Wales won the first clash in 2019, 38-6.
Turbo pulled out.
Is that the
down.
Turbo game?
Yeah.
In the piss and rain. I think it's supposed to rain.
Yes, you
on
said that
Wednesday
last week.
as well. I mean, it was back then. Keep going.
Back the unders. The Blues have won game one only twice over the last 7 years, but have gone on to claim the Shield in game two on both occasions. So that's a stat that favours New South Wales there for you, Oscar. I feel like Queensland's going to have good support in Perth. They tend to over the last few years. So let's get some predictions. Let's start with the score in 3 words or less. We'll go around the table. Oscar.
28-10 Blues.
Blowout. Okay. Jharal?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight. I reckon it's going to be 16-12 Queensland.
I thought we'd go the same number again.
Telepathy.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. We need to score points early, though.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
You think it's slow scoring as well, folks?
Yeah, 18-10 was what came to
18,
mind
okay.
for me. Queensland's way, obviously.
Yep. What's the... I'm just going to go to the total points here because I don't have it in front of me. What's the
Let me
line?
pull it up for you. It is 41.5 points, and 95% chance of rain.
Yep.
So
Okay.
it's going to be wet.
The line dropped when Moses pulled out from 8.5 to 6.5, I think. So unlucky if, like me, you took the early line for the Blues. I don't know. I think Blues got too many points in them. I don't know.
Could have had more in game one for sure.
should have-
That's what
shitloads
blows
more.
my mind. Like, they dominated us in game one, and every punter's like, they did not play up to expectation. So that's scary.
So over for Oscar, Jharal.
What do we ask? Sorry? Overs.
Overs.
Total points.
Over total points.
What is it?
41.5?
No, unders.
Unders?
Unders, yeah.
Fogs, your unders as well.
Unders. Yeah,
I can't go away from what my score said, yeah.
Let's grab a quick first try scorer and man of the match before we head to the multi. Oscar?
Can I do a half stake with 2 first try scorer tips?
Yeah.
Because I've already put that on myself. Trelmit and Angus Crichton. I think either side of Thomas.
Dearden.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Hammer, first try scorer, and I will obviously Queensland to win.
Yep.
But I think Munster will have to. Munster will have to stand up, and I think he's going to have his best game and stand out. So, that's man of the match.
Munster for man of the match.
First try scorer, Robert Toyer.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
too.
nice.
Man of the match, Tom Dearden.
What's Toya paying for first?
First try
Dearden.
scorer, I'm glad you asked. Robert Toyer, first try scorer, $21.
Yeah, I like that.
That's actually good.
All right.
That's actually good. I was thinking this morning as I was driving in. Do you remember that shape we talked about a couple of years ago in Good Ball where Harry Grant shapes to the open side and then turns around and grubbers in down the very short, like in the corner for either the centre or the back row? I think Kurt Capewell has scored a try off that shape before.
I don't mind Kurt for any time.
Yeah, I like that whole right edge.
Yeah.
If I'm Queensland,
Because he just, I don't know, he looks slippery to tackle.
Kurt
when he's
Capewell, $5.60.
he never stops moving his legs.
Yeah.
Man. That dude. Yeah,
He can get for some
he's a
reason-
Queenslander. That
Yes.
man.
He likes to get his arms over people and like
Charleville.
show, and then Charleville. They just breed him to
Nothing but red dirt and bilbies out
Kurt
there.
Capewell.
Bilbies.
Bilbies.
Love Bilbies.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, pick a multi, and get out of here. You're listening to NRL Unpopular Opinions. We're about to pick a multi, but I want to remind the listeners and the viewers that for the first time in the show's history, we're going to have our first hosted pod up on the Neds app. So myself, Fogs, Oscar, and Jharal will be picking the bets ahead of Game 2 on Wednesday night.
Come with us, punters.
It's a
Come with us.
Yes, absolutely. It's a $25 buy-in. What are we sitting at now, Fogs?
We're sitting at a good amount. Very, very good amount.
Good
But
amount?
we'd appreciate more punters jumping in and coming along for the ride.
Yes, we do need some.
We always want more pot. I mean, a bigger pot.
Yeah.
Bigger pot.
Come with us. We'll land you some winners.
Yeah, come on the journey.
Nice.
You just got to jump on the website or in open groups. Use the code Puntaroos to join the
Shout out, puntaroos.
Shout out,
hosted
Punaroo.
pot. And come along for the ride. Don't spray us too hard, please. It's,
No.
my mental health's very fragile at the moment with New South Wales
serious,
and
that's serious.
Richard South Africa
cricket.
winning the World Test
baby.
Championship. Be nice.
Yeah, and you haven't had the best experience with some of these pots in the past, so
Melbourne Cup was a bloodbath. I
Yeah.
won a bit of coin for the punters, the NFL,
And the
the one
NFL,
we did.
yeah.
But it's about time that we return some value to our loyal listeners.
you got the runs on the board now, so you'll be better for it.
Wait on.
got the
More,
runs.
more runs than minus.
Ouch.
Let's dive into a quick multi for Game 2. I'm going to take the over for a lot of the reasons we've already spoken about. I think the Blues could have had more points in Game 1, so over 41.5 for me. Oscar?
I've gone the little duos try scorer market. So either Latrell Mitchell or Robert Toyer to score 1+ try.
I've gone. Is it me?
Yep, you.
The Hammer. Anytime try scorer.
Very nice.
Just got to get over. Big dog.
Bring us
Want to see that? Want to see that shark? Let's go.
bring us home, Fox.
I've got Val 6+ points. Hopefully he kicks a few goals or scores a try, converts
Yeah.
it himself.
Even
and
better.
we're laughing.
$6.93 for
Why are
those.
you laughing?
No, just the way you said laughing. He's got to be excited about that.
Oh, I'm just happy
Val
to
gets
be
you
here.
excited, eh?
He's a good football player.
It's good to
And that's an unpopular opinion.
Oh, there it is. Oh, you're too good.
It's good to see you smiling again, Fox.
Well, he's about to leave. He's
yeah,
about to go.
no,
So.
get me on a flight.
$6.93 multi. You can find it on the Neds app.
That'll pay for your groceries.
Yeah.
Hey?
There you go.
Pay for a flight to Perth. Fox?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
Safe travels.
Hell,
Fox.
that's a 5-hour flight, isn't it?
6 hours.
6?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
2 of the 3 Lord of the Rings movies. Come on,
Well,
man.
exactly. Well, Dune Part 1 and Part 2. Maybe I'll start Dune 1 again.
You got the middle seat, I hear, too.
Yeah, I know.
Sucks to be you.
There's
Going
gonna-
skiing.
Hey.
We better get out of it.
That'll do us. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Jharal. Thank
No
you,
problem.
Fogs. Thank you, Rich.
It's always a pleasure.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website